Let's go, let's go, let's go.
I will learn new things. I will be creative. Grab your games, let's gather around. An adventure is always waiting. There's storytelling news for us, and we always know what's happening. We act, we play, we dance, we sing from 9 to 10 on Saturday morning. Youth on the go. Whoa. Let's start the show. Youth on the go. Whoa. Let's start the show.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Good morning, good morning, good morning to all of our radio listeners, our viewers via Von Radio's Facebook page and YouTube channel, and welcome to another edition of Youth on the Go here on Von Radio. I am Zanella Claxton from the Department of Education, and every Saturday we are here with you to share opportunities, activities, events, and of course this Saturday is no different. It is a bright and sunny, beautiful day here on Nevis, and I want to thank all of you for continuously joining us every week to share in the various activities that we have had. And so, of course, I'd like to start off by sharing a bit of what is to come for our school meals, what's on the menu for next week. And so our menu, Monday, oven-baked chicken with macaroni pie served with tossed green salad. Tuesday, stewed turkey with beans and spinach rice served with steamed vegetables. On Water Wednesday, of course, parents pack only water. Water Wednesday, we should have chicken lentil vegetable soup with dumplings. Tour Thursday, we're going to Belize. Fish stew with mashed potatoes served with coleslaw. And on Friday, we have pizza, cheese, pepperoni, and veggie pizza on a cassava crust served with a garden salad. So it is going to be a wonderful week in our school meals program, and I encourage you, if you haven't signed up your child as yet, if you haven't signed up your children as yet, I encourage you to do so. It is going to be a fantastic and tasty week for school meals. And for anyone who's listening and you have any children you would like to sponsor, that is also an option. It's always an option. The school meals program runs at an approximate cost of $5 per day, $100 per month. In months that have 5 Mondays, it will be $125. But the students will get scrumptious meals. Once again, this coming week, Monday, oven-baked chicken with macaroni pie served with tossed green salad. Tuesday, stewed turkey with bean and spinach rice served with steamed vegetables. Wednesday, chicken lentil soup with dumplings. Tour Thursday, we are going to Belize. Fish stew with mashed potatoes and coleslaw. And Friday, it's pizza day. Cheese, pepperoni, and veggie pizza on a cassava crust served with a garden salad. So we are going to have an amazing week, as I said, in the school meals program, and an amazing week altogether across the various schools. I want to commend the winners once again of the St. Thomas's Primary School Spelling Bees. They had the grade 2 Spelling Bee and the grade 6 Spelling Bee, and we want to commend our first place winner for the grade 2 Spelling Bee, Kimari Charles. Second place, Rejon Rollins, and third place, Sana Clark. And our grade 6 first place, Dekimba Prentice. Second, Josiah Morrison, and third, Elania Grant. We want to say commendations to those students who participated, and special commendations to our winners. We also had several activities happening during the course of the past week, which included the career readiness activity for the Charlestown Secondary School, and so the school leavers had the opportunity in a modified way. Of course, we have modified most of our activities for post-COVID, and so since we had to make the adjustments around COVID, we have had modified activities, but we are trying our best to give our students as many activities and opportunities that we can in the current context. And so I want to commend all of the school leaders and of course the leaders also at the department and Ministry of Education for their continued hard work and dedication in this process. This morning we are going to have a few different activities going on, quizzes, listening activities. I will have a story for our younger listeners and some quizzes for our older listeners. We want to try to challenge our listeners to listen, of course, to listen intently, and of course to respond appropriately. And so students, parents, get your children lined up. We will start off with our story, and our story is entitled Mr. Wrinkles. Okay, Mr. Wrinkles, and this is a new month. It is the month of March, and so we will look at Mr. Wrinkles. And this month the focus is on it's captioned Reading Month in some parts of the world, because this month has also in it Dr. Seuss's birthday. Mr. Wrinkles. Mr. Wrinkles was an elephant, and not just any elephant. He was the oldest, wisest elephant in all of Africa. He knew the names of all the other animals for miles around because, let's not forget, an elephant never forgets. For those who are watching, I'll try to share the pictures with you as well so you can see as I read. Mr. Wrinkles made the same long journey out to the waterhole each day. He spoke to all the brilliantly colored birds who told him about the things they had seen on their travels. They told him about the lions out on the plain and the crocodiles who were making a nuisance of themselves in the river again. And so those who are looking, you can see the lions, you can see the crocodiles, and of course Mr. Wrinkles talking with the birds. He spoke to the giraffes who were already munching on their breakfast, and he's on his way to visit Mr. Cheetah. On his way, Mr. Wrinkles felt the ground move beneath him, and before he knew it, he was stuck in a big hole. Being wise, he did not panic. He knew that there must be a way out. He just had to think. He had a long look around to see who was there and moved his legs a little. The hole was deep and cold and came up to his middle. After a few minutes, he decided to call for help. "Help me!" he shouted. "I am stuck in a hole and cannot move." He wiggled some more until finally he decided to stop and wait for someone to arrive. Very soon, a tiny head appeared. It was a meerkat named Eddie. "Hello, Mr. Wrinkles. I was just out playing with my brothers and sisters and thought I heard something. Do you need a hand?" "I do, my friend. Could you help me get out of the hole, please?" Just then, another tiny head appeared, then another and another, until he was completely surrounded by meerkats. Mr. Wrinkles knew all their names, but could not say hello to everyone. It would take far too long. "Hello, everyone," he said. "Please, could you help me? I am stuck." "But how can we help you? You're so big and we are so small," someone said. "Don't worry," Eddie said. "I have an idea. There are lots of us. We will find someone to get you out of here." And so we can see the several meerkats, for those who are looking, surrounding Mr. Wrinkles. Eddie and all his brothers and sisters began to spread out in search of help. It was not long until they found 3 giraffes called Spot, Speckle, and Freckle, who were more than happy to help their old friend. The giraffes, with their long necks, each pulled a branch down from a nearby tree and told Mr. Wrinkles to hold on tight. He wrapped his trunk around the long branches, and with a heave and a roar he pulled as hard as he could. But he moved just a little. They stopped to rest because it was a very hot day. As they tried to decide what to do, 100 birds of all different colors flew down from the bright sky to sit on his back. They flapped their wings with all their might to try to lift him, while he pulled again with his trunk, and he moved a little bit more. A few hours later, as Mr. Wrinkles was thinking he would never get out, a big wild beast called Clive, with long pointy horns, found the group. "Hello, Mr. Wrinkles. I heard a hornbill saying that you were stuck. Can I offer some assistance?" "Oh, yes, Clive. I would appreciate that very much." Clive stood behind Mr. Wrinkles, and together they flapped and pulled and cheered and pushed until, with a shout and a roar, Mr. Wrinkles climbed out the hole. "Thank you very much, my friends," he said. "You are all very special to me. I would not have been able to get out of that hole without you, and every one of you working as a team." He looked at all the animals gathered around him and smiled. "My merkite friends, even though you are small, there are many of you, and your voices spread the word of my problems far and wide. Spot, Speckle, and Freckle, your long necks helped reach the highest branches for me to hold on to. My bird friends, even though you are not very strong, together your wings are stronger than the strongest lion. And finally, Clive, my good wild beast friend, you are fast and strong. Thank you, everyone, for being such good friends. Even though all of you are different, you are all very special indeed. This is a day I will never forget." Mr. Wrinkles celebrated that evening with all of his friends and thanked them and promised that he would always be there if they ever fell in a hole. And that's the end of the story. And the story, of course, is entitled Mr. Wrinkles. We're going to take a short break, and then I'll ask a few questions based on the story.
Sugar City St. Kitts, keep it sweet. Keep listening to Vaughn.
It's time, come on, rise and shine. You know, I know we're gonna have a great time. And now we're past it quickly, you don't wanna miss it. So turn up the radio, it's Youth on the Go. Youth on the Go. Oh, let's start the show. Oh, Youth on the Go. Oh, let's start the show. Oh, let's go. I will learn new things. I will be creative. Grab your gears, let's gather around. An adventure is always waiting. There's storytelling news for us, and we always know what's happening. We act, we play, we dance, we sing from 9 to 10 on Saturday morning. Youth on the go. Whoa, let's start the show. Youth on the go. Whoa, let's start the show.
Let's go. Good morning to all of our radio listeners, our viewers via Vaughn Radio's Facebook page and YouTube channel. Welcome to another edition of Youth on the Go here on Vaughn Radio. I am Zanella Claxon from the Department of Education, and we just read a remarkable story entitled Mr. Wrinkles. And so I have just a few questions for our younger learners. I think our students up to grade 3 should be able to answer these questions relatively easily if you were listening. So question 1. What animal was Mr. Wrinkles? What animal was Mr. Wrinkles? 469-1616, 469-1700, and we already have a caller. Okay, we might have lost that caller. So caller, feel free to call back. Just a reminder, everyone, turn your radios down when you call in so that we can hear you clearly. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, how are you doing today?
I am good.
Wonderful. Do you know what type of animal Mr. Wrinkles was?
Mr. Wrinkles was an elephant.
Woo! And what's your name?
My name is Janaya Jones.
Okay, Janaya, you're going to have to help me with the spelling of your name so I can get it just right. Can you spell your name for me? Janaya Jones. Go ahead. Spell Janaya.
Janaya.
Great job, Janaya. And what school do you attend?
What did you say?
What school do you attend? What's the name of your school?
My school is Joyson Library Primary School.
Okay, and what grade are you in?
I'm in kindergarten.
Can I tell you something, Janaya? I am so proud of you. You have answered all of your questions in complete sentences. You were so polite. I am so proud of you this morning. Congratulations, and we'll send your prize to your school, okay, Janaya?
Yes.
Well, wonderful job this morning, okay? Tell Mommy and Daddy to give you a big hug for doing such a great job.
Okay.
Okay, have a good day.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so we had our first winner, Janaya Jones, and Janaya shared with us that Mr. Wrinkles was an elephant. All right, so question 2. In the story, we learned that Mr. Wrinkles does not forget anyone. Can you tell us why? Why is it that Mr. Wrinkles does not forget anyone? Okay, 469-1616, 469-1700. Remember, after you have won a prize, we will allow somebody else to call. So as long as you've won a prize, you call one time. If you won a prize, then you wait until next week to call in again. Okay, so we learned in the story that Mr. Wrinkles does not forget anyone. Can you tell us why is it that Mr. Wrinkles does not forget anyone? Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing today?
Good.
Okay. Do you have the answer for us?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. Okay, I can help you to start. Mr. Wrinkles does not forget anyone because, see, I helped you a lot. Go ahead. Mr. Wrinkles.
Mr. Wrinkles is old and wise because that's why.
Oh, because he's old and wise. That is part of the reason, but it tells us something a little bit more. So think about it. See if you can, rack your brain, replay the story in your head, and see if you can remember why we're told he does not forget anyone. Give us a call back, okay? Good try. All right. All right. So we were told in the story, okay? Good morning.
I'm good.
All right. All right. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay. Do you know why Mr. Wrinkles does not forget anyone?
Mr. Wrinkles does not forget anyone because he's a wise man.
He's a wise man elephant, I guess. A wise elephant. That's part of the reason. But there's another little piece of information that I shared that tells us exactly why he does not forget anyone. Okay? So think about it a little bit more and see if you can get the answer. All right? So think about it and call back. Good job. 469-1616, 469-1700. Let's see if we can find out why Mr. Wrinkles does not forget anyone. Good morning.
Morning.
How are you doing today?
Good.
Okay, wonderful. Do you know why Mr. Wrinkles does not forget anyone?
Because he is an elephant and elephants have memory.
Okay, so he is an elephant and elephants have excellent memories. Okay, and of course, elephants never forget. Did you know that before today?
Yes.
Good job. All right, so what's your name?
Malika.
Okay, Malika Dalton. Congratulations, Malika. Grade 1, Charleston Primary. Okay, Malika, congratulations. So elephants never forget. So if you meet an elephant, let's say you happen to go to, let's say, Africa, and you get to meet an elephant, and you go back 20 years later, 30 years later, that elephant is going to remember you. I think that's pretty amazing. Good job, Malika. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay, bye. Okay, great, wonderful. And so we have our last question. Now, this question is kind of in the book, but you have to think about it a bit. You have to come up with your answer based on the information that's in the book. Remember, students from as old as grade 3 will be allowed to answer these questions in this section about Mr. Wrinkles. So this question, what lesson did we learn from the story Mr. Wrinkles? What lesson did we learn from the story Mr. Wrinkles? So you should be able to tell me the lesson you learned, and I think I can take about maybe 2 persons. If you have 2 different, if your answer isn't given by somebody else, you can call in. But what lesson did we learn from the story Mr. Wrinkles? At the end of the story, after hearing the entire thing, what lesson did we learn? 469-1616, 469-1700. As I said, as long as you can support your answer based on the story, there isn't a right or wrong answer for this one. What lesson did we learn? I just need to know how you can support it, or why you give me, or why you have chosen that answer. Okay? What lesson did we learn from the story Mr. Wrinkles? 469-1616, 469-1700. And of course, the rules are the same. If you have called before, we want you to let someone else get an opportunity. Okay, so we have a caller. Good morning.
Hi.
Good morning. Can you turn your radio down, please? Okay, so have you called before? Have you called already this morning?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to let somebody else get a chance to tell us the answer, okay? And then you can call us back next week. Is that fair?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so the question is, what lesson did we learn from the story Mr. Wrinkles? What lesson did we learn from the story Mr. Wrinkles? There's so many things that happened in the story, but you know, when we get stories, we generally learn lessons. We get new bits of information. What lesson did we learn from the story Mr. Wrinkles? I thought this was the easiest question, but it seems like we have to think about it a bit. Stop and think. Reflect on the story and tell us, what lesson did we learn from the story Mr. Wrinkles? Okay? We're going to take a short break because no one is calling in. By the time we come back from the break, hopefully you would have gathered your thoughts. We will be right back.
When VON vibrates, the whole Caribbean must shake.
860 AM, the powerhouse.
It's time, come on, rise and shine. You know, I know, we're gonna have a great time. And now we're past it quickly, you don't wanna miss it. So turn up the radio, it's Youth on the Go. Youth on the Go. Oh, let's start the show. Oh, Youth on the Go. Oh, let's start the show. Let's go, let's go, let's go. I will learn new things. I will be creative. Grab your games, let's gather around. An adventure is always waiting. There's storytelling news for us, and we always know what's happening. We act, we play, we dance, we sing from 9 to 10 on Saturday morning. Youth on the Go. Whoa, let's start the show. Youth on the Go. Whoa, let's start the show.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Good morning, good morning, good morning to all of our radio listeners, our viewers via Von Radio's Facebook page and YouTube channels, and welcome to another edition of Youth on the Go here on Von Radio. I am Zanella Claxton from the Department of Education. It is always a pleasure to be here with all of you, especially our children, as we explore, we share, we do as much as we can to provide opportunities for our students. And so just before the break, we read the story Mr. Wrinkles, and we we asked a few questions based on the story, and we want to congratulate Janaya Jones, kindergarten student at the Joycelyn Library Primary School, Malika Dalton, a grade 1 student at the Charlestown Primary School. We want to say congratulations to you for correctly answering your questions based on Mr. Wrinkles. And we had one last question. What lesson did we learn from the story Mr. Wrinkles? What lesson did we learn from the story Mr. Wrinkles? Numbers to call: 469-1616, 469-1700. And we are going to give our students that opportunity. We haven't had any callers yet on that question. I'm hoping that we can get the answer before the end of the show. But I'm also remembering now that we had a question from last week that we didn't have an answer to. That one was for our older students, our high school students, or any student. Any student, I think this was an open question actually. So we have 2 questions that we're going to place on the table now. The first question, that one is for our younger learners. What lesson did we learn from the story Mr. Wrinkles? And remember, I said there isn't necessarily an incorrect or correct answer. It's more based on what you heard from the story and what you think the lesson is coming out of the story. So it's not a question that the answer doesn't come directly from the book, but we can infer. Okay, and so we want you to try that one. So the question that we brought over from last week that I didn't remember to announce at the beginning was, there are some schools have their motto that is in Latin. Remember last week we talked about Sir Kennedy studying Latin, and so some schools have their motto which is written in Latin. Name one school on Nevis that has a motto in Latin. Tell us what the motto is and what it means. Name one school on Nevis that has a motto written in Latin. Tell us what the motto is and tell us what it means. All right. Remember, 469-1616, 469-1700. And that second question, the Latin question, is an open question. And the first question, of course, as I said, was based on the story Mr. Wrinkles. And we haven't gotten any answers on that one as yet. But we're hoping that our listeners are up and rearing and that they heard the whole story, so they'll be able to provide some answers for us. Okay? Remember, 469-1616, 469-1700. Good morning.
Morning.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
All right. Go ahead.
I want to answer the question from last week.
You want to answer the question from last week? Have you called in already today? You called in already today?
Yes.
Remember I told you can only call one time each week. Okay, but I'm so proud of you for trying. And if at the end we don't get anybody to answer the Mr. Wrinkles question, I'm going to let you call in again to answer the Mr. Wrinkles question. Is that fair?
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Okay. All right, so we have somebody on standby to give us the answers, but she wanted to make sure that we gave everybody a fair opportunity. So I'll allow the phones to be open for 1 more minute. Okay. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing today?
I'm good.
Okay, have you called in for the days yet?
No.
Okay, wonderful. Which question are you going to answer? Which question are you going to answer?
I'm going to answer the one before.
Okay, give me the answer to the question in a complete sentence. Go ahead and give me your answer.
I learned in the story Mr. Wrinkles that it is important. It is important to work as a team, and it teaches us to believe in ourselves.
Ooh, wonderful! What's your name?
Aquila Ali.
Aquila Ali. Oh, hey, Aquila. A apostrophe.
AQ apostrophe U.
Oh, AQ apostrophe. I got it wrong. U ILALE. And you are now in grade 4 at EPPS. All right, Aquila, congratulations. And that is a very important lesson, isn't it?
Yes.
Do you think that you can apply that to your life anywhere, at school or at home or anywhere in the community? You think you can apply that lesson? You can use it?
Yes.
Wonderful.
I can.
Okay, can you think of any way you can use it? I'm just wondering. If you can't answer, that's okay. Can you think of any way in which you can use it?
At home, at school, and at work.
Okay, yes, adults can learn that, can't they? That's correct. All right. Thank you so much, Aquila. Okay, have a wonderful week.
Thank you.
Okay, bye. And we'll send your prize over to EPPS. Okay, so listeners, we learned a very important lesson. Thank you, Aquila, for sharing. We have another caller. Good morning. Okay, all right, we lost that caller, but remember, we still have another question on the table, and if you had anything to add to what Aquila said, I will allow for a second response to the lesson learned question as well. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm fine.
Okay, can you turn your radio down, please?
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
This is for the second question.
Go ahead.
The school on the island one school on the island that has a Latin motto is the CSS.
Okay, Charleston Secondary. Okay, what's the motto?
School.
Mm-hmm.
The motto is Industria et Virtute,
Mm-hmm.
and it means industry and virtue.
Wonderful. And what's your name?
Ajurni Hawk.
Okay, congratulations, Ajurni. Charleston Primary, grade 5. And thank you, Ajurni. You have a wonderful week, and thank you for calling, okay?
You as well.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so I'm going to throw it out again. So we might have another school. If anybody calls in with that I will also take it. But Ajurni is correct. The Charlestown Secondary School has the motto Industria et Virtute, and it means industry and virtue. And so we want to make sure, we want you to realize that historically there's influence from different cultures, different countries, and at that time when the motto of the Charlestown Secondary School was written, we had a very strong Latin influence. If you didn't take Latin, you were perceived as there's something, you had a shortcoming. Anybody who was well refined, anybody who was well educated knew Latin. And so congratulations on that. And so Industria et Virtute is actually a Latin motto. Congratulations, wonderful, well done. Okay? Okay, so we'll continue. And we're going to take a look. So we've had some good callers based on our story. We've reflected a bit on last week's presentation from the Making of a National Hero. And we are going to have a few questions. I'm going to read a few statements and give you 5 options. I'll read 5 options. After I've read those options, you are going to determine which of the options is true. I'm going to give an example. Okay? So, the first statement reads, the children studied a book about Henry the 8th. The students studied a book about Henry the 8th. So that's the statement. And of course, I'm going to read the 5 sentences and I will tell you which one is true based on the first sentence. So the 5 sentences are: 1, the children didn't like the book. 2, they liked historical books. 3, they liked the book. 4, they read the book. 5, they preferred shorter books. And so based on that statement, the children studied a book about Henry the Eighth, the correct answer would be they read the book, because it didn't tell us, the statement didn't tell us whether or not they liked the book. The statement didn't tell us that they liked history books. It didn't tell us that they liked that particular book, and it didn't tell us that they preferred a shorter book. Based on the information that we were given, we know, the only thing that we know for sure is that they read the book. Okay, so I'm hoping you understand the instructions, and I will read another one. This one you can call in once you have selected which one of the statements is true based on the original statement which is read. Okay, and so our new statement, and if you know the answer, feel free to call 469-1616, 469-1700. Statement reads, Jane had her hair cut at the hairdresser. Jane had her hair cut at the hairdresser. That's the original statement. Which one of these is true? The hairdresser was pleased to see Jane. 2. She put a slide in Jane's hair. 3. The hairdresser washed Jane's hair. 4. The hairdresser trimmed Jane's hair. 5. Jane liked having her hair washed. Okay, so the original statement is Jane had her hair cut at the hairdresser. Which one of these statements is true based on the original sentence that I just read? 1. The hairdresser was pleased to see Jane. 2. She put a slide in Jane's hair. 3. The hairdresser washed Jane's hair. 4. The hairdresser trimmed Jane's hair. 5. Jane liked having her hair washed. 469-1616, 469-1700. Based on the original statement, Jane had her hair cut at the hairdresser. Which one of those statements that I read after 1 through 5 is true? And I'll go through it again. 1. The hairdresser was pleased to see Jane. 2. She put a slide in Jane's hair. 3. The hairdresser washed Jane's hair. 4. The hairdresser trimmed Jane's hair. 5. Jane liked having her hair washed. 469-1616, 469-1700. And we are going to take a short break while you mull over your answer. By the time we come back, we hope to have someone with the correct answer.
From Queen City, Nevis, this is the powerhouse of the Eastern Caribbean, Vaughn Radio.
It's time, come on, rise and shine. You know, I know we're gonna have a great time. And now we're past it quickly, you don't wanna miss it. So turn up the radio, it's Youth on the Go. Youth on the Go. Oh, let's start the show. Oh, Youth on the Go. Oh, let's start the show. Let's go. I will learn new things. I will be creative. Grab your gears, let's gather around. An adventure is always waiting. There's storytelling news for us, and we always know what's happening. We act, we play, we dance, we sing from 9 to 10 on Saturday morning. Youth on the Go. Whoa, let's start the show. Oh, Youth on the Go. Start the show.
Let's go. Good morning to all of our radio listeners, our viewers via Vaughn Radio's Facebook page and YouTube channel, and welcome to another edition of Youth on the Go here on Vaughn Radio. I am Zanella Claxton from the Department of Education, and just before the break we asked a question and we have a caller on the line. Good morning. Okay, all right, so we are going to repeat the question. It seems like we lost that caller, and we read a statement, an initial statement, an original statement, and then we read 5 sentences after, and only one of them is true. And so we have to determine which sentence is true based on the original sentence that I read. So I read an original sentence, and then after that I'll read 5 sentences, and you have to tell us which of the 5 is true based on the original sentence. Okay? So Jane had her hair cut at the hairdresser. The 5 sentences are: 1. The hairdresser was pleased to see Jane. 2. She put a slide in Jane's hair. 3. The hairdresser washed Jane's hair. 4. The hairdresser trimmed Jane's hair. 5. Jane liked having her hair washed. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Morning.
How are you doing today?
Good.
Wonderful. Are you a student?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Do you know which statement is true?
Number 4.
Okay, so can you give me a complete sentence, please?
The hairdresser trimmed Jane's hair.
Correct. And how did you determine that that statement is true? Can you tell me what was your hint? What was the clue?
Because it's the same as the statement.
Okay, so the word cut
Yes.
is similar to the word trimmed, right?
Yes.
Okay, but you know when you cut, you could cut it at different lengths, and usually when you trim, it's a little shorter. But it's the process of cutting. The others could have been true, but we don't know based on the initial statement. What's your name?
Sanjay Constantine.
Okay, you'll have to help me. Okay, can you help me spell your name, please?
SANJAY.
Last name?
EONSTANTINE.
Okay, what school do you attend? Viogen Primary. What grade are you in, Sanjay?
Grade 6.
Wonderful. Congratulations, you're very correct. Okay, we'll send your prize over to Miss Powell, and you'll get your to Mrs. Wilkin or Miss Powell, and you'll get your prize. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Have a great weekend.
Bye.
Okay. Bye.
You too.
Okay. Thank you. All right. The next question. Like same rules. We have to stop and think and listen. Okay. Thomas Sheraton made fine furniture. Good furniture is very expensive. So it's a 2-part statement or 2 statements, okay? Thomas Sheraton made fine furniture. Good furniture is very expensive. Now here are the 5 options, and you'll tell us which one is true based on what I just read. Sheraton furniture is well known. That's number 1. Number 2, there are lots of imitations. 3, all furniture is expensive. 4, people pay a lot of money for Sheraton furniture. 5, Sheraton furniture is sometimes cheap. Let's go again. So the initial, and this one contains 2 sentences. Thomas Sheraton made fine furniture. Good furniture is very expensive. Based on that, which one of these is true? 1, Sheraton furniture is well known. 2, there are lots of imitations. 3, all furniture is expensive. 4, people pay a lot of money for Sheraton furniture. 5, Sheraton furniture is sometimes cheap. Numbers to call: 469-1616, 469-1700. Based on the original statement, which of these is true? The original statement: Thomas Sheraton made fine furniture. Good furniture is very expensive. Number 1, Sheraton furniture is well known. Number 2, there are lots of imitations. 3, all furniture is expensive. 4. People pay a lot of money for Sheraton furniture. 5. Sheraton furniture is sometimes cheap. And of course, we want to know which one of these is true based on the original 2 sentences that I read. Which one of the statements is true? Okay, so it causes us to think a little bit, to listen closely and intently. And I'll read it again. Thomas Sheraton made fine furniture. Good furniture is very expensive. Sheraton furniture is well known. There are lots of imitations. 1. Sheraton furniture is well known. 2. There are lots of imitations. 3. All furniture is expensive. 4. People pay a lot of money for Sheraton furniture. 5. Sheraton furniture is sometimes cheap. Which one of those statements is true? Once again, Thomas Sheraton made fine furniture. Good furniture is very expensive. And the answers: Sheraton furniture is well known. The statement, 1. Sheraton furniture is well known. 2. There are lots of imitations. 3. All furniture is expensive. 4. People pay a lot of money for Sheraton furniture. And 5. Sheraton furniture is sometimes cheap. Which one of those statements is true based on the original statements that I read? Okay? And of course, if our caller wants to call back, I know I promised Janaya that she could call back. So Janaya, if you have the question from last week, if you have a different answer from the one that Ajerne shared in relation to the school with the Latin name, you can always call back. Remember, I promised that you could call back if we didn't get the answer, but we got one possible school, so if you have a different one, I'll allow you to call back as well, just to share with us, of course, not to win a second prize, but you can call back if you have a different answer. Okay? Or anyone who has a different answer can actually call back. So 469-1616, 469-1700. And we have the question on the table. I don't know, it seems to be giving us a bit of a challenge. I will try to slow it down a little bit. If we don't have the answer, I will have to move on and just share the answer with us and give us the logic behind it. Thomas Sheraton made fine furniture. Good furniture is very expensive. Those are the 2 sentences. And based on those sentences, which one of these is true? 1. Sheraton furniture is well known. 2. There are lots of imitations. 3. All furniture is expensive. 4. People pay a lot of money for Sheraton furniture. And 5. Sheraton furniture is sometimes cheap. 469-1616, 469-1700. And we would love to hear from you. Of course, we know that this one caused you to think a bit this week. We wanted you to start ensuring that you're thinking at a high level and that you can put pieces of puzzles together. And so we encourage you to call if you have the answer. In the meantime, let me share with you our school meals menu for next week for the parents and of course anyone who's interested in signing up. If you've already signed up, you know what's coming next week in terms of what's on the menu. And so we have on Monday oven baked chicken with macaroni pie served with a tossed green salad. Tuesday we have stewed turkey with bean and spinach rice served with steamed vegetables. Wednesday we have chicken lentil vegetable soup with dumplings. Thursday our stop is Belize. Fish stew with mashed potato served with coleslaw. And of course on Friday we have pizza, vegetable, cheese or pepperoni pizza on a cassava crust served with green salad. So on Fridays, like we learned, Mrs. Daniel, when she was here a few weeks ago, she shared with us that on Fridays we try to make the menu a bit more fun and interesting. And so on Fridays we add something fun like pizza, and that's the case this week. We have a call on the line. Good morning.
Yes.
Good morning.
Morning.
Okay, do you have an answer for us?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
It has limitations.
Say it one more time.
It many
Imitations?
imitation.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that one is not quite correct, but since I have you on the line, can I read it one more time for you and you can try to figure out which one is true? Okay? Thomas Sheraton made fine furniture. Good furniture is very expensive. Which one of these is true? Sheraton furniture is well known. 2. There are lots of imitations. 3. All furniture is expensive. 4. People pay a lot of money for Sheraton furniture. 5. Sheraton furniture is sometimes cheap. You want to take a second guess?
It has a lot limitations.
Okay, that one is not quite correct, okay? So think about it a little bit more and feel free to call back if you can in the next minute or so. Thank you so much. All right, and we want to thank that caller for trying. And we wanted to find out which statement is true. And the original statement is Sheraton furniture. Thomas Sheraton made fine furniture. Good furniture is very expensive. Which one of these is true? 1. Sheraton furniture is well known. 2. There are lots of imitations. 3. All furniture is expensive. 4. People pay a lot of money for Sheraton furniture. Or 5. Sheraton furniture is sometimes cheap. 469-1616, 469-1700. We have just about 1 minute, and after that 1 minute, of course, we'll have to close out the show. But if you have the answer for this question, we'd love to hear from you. We want to commend Janiyah Jones, kindergarten student of Joycelyn Ladby Primary School, Malika Dalton, grade 1 student, Charlestown Primary School, Aquila Ali, grade 4 student, Elizabeth Pemberton Primary School. We have a caller. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Okay, good morning. Do you know which statement is true?
Yes.
Which one?
Claxton.
Okay, which?
People pay a lot of money.
Okay, can you read it down a little bit? But yes, you're correct. People pay a lot of money for Sheraton furniture. What's your name?
Takari Sutton.
Takari Sutton. Awesome job, Takari. All right, grade 6 at EPPS, correct?
Yes.
All right. So, Takari, you have a wonderful week, and we'll send your prize over to your school, okay?
Yes.
All right. Have a great week, and congratulations.
Okay.
Okay. So that is correct. Takari Sutton is correct. People pay a lot of money for Sheraton furniture was the correct answer. And as I was saying, I think we got as far as Aquila Ali. Commendations to Ajerne Hodge, grade 5 student, Charlestown Primary School, Sanjay Constantine, grade 6 student, VOJN Primary, and Takari Sutton, grade 6 student, EPPS. Have a wonderful week. Children, make sure next week you pay close attention, and we will come back next Saturday to share more with you. Have an amazing week, listeners.